Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Tracks here with head coach Dennis Williams. I'm Brian Tossi, bringing you all the action from this past weekend and previewing this week. We'll also have a couple of the Bloomington Thunder players here to feature. Jalen Smereck will be on the mic along with Ryan Siroky here for the Bloomington Thunder as we get set to move in here to Michigan for a couple away games. But let's quickly touch on this past weekend, Coach. And I know just for you and for the rest of the team, it looked like things were getting back to the way they were at the beginning of the season. It was some hard-fought games. They did result in 2 losses, but they were hard-fought hockey games this past weekend.
It was arguably probably 2 of the better games we played this year.
Yeah.
It didn't result in wins like you mentioned, but it was we played the game right. We outchanced our opponents both nights, and we didn't give up a lot, and we stayed out of the penalty box. I was only gave up 1 power play all weekend is a good sign. Considering the tough times we had there with that Youngstown stretch of games where they were scoring quite a bit of power play goals. So you can see our energy levels up. We had a great practice today. Guys are going. Guys had the day off yesterday. They're loose. Or we had another good talk and video session this morning. And we got to keep that high energy, high level tempo up, especially during tough times. But it's been. It was from Wednesday, that game in Youngstown, that morning game, to Sunday. It's night and day, to us. So.
And just seeing that momentum shift too, with guys in the locker room and seeing them start to get this confidence back, even though you did come away with the 2 losses, it is good to see that the guys in the locker room are in high hopes, right?
Well, I hope they're in high hopes. It has nothing to do about being hopeful. It has to do about the execution and the buy-in, and these guys are. I'm proud of this group. I'm proud of the way we responded. We've had a tough stretch of games, and it's not going to get much easier. But like I told them, no one feels sorry for us. No coach on the other bench or teams like, I feel bad for Bloomington. They're coming in wanting points, and we want points. But I said to them, if we play like we did this weekend, and continue to stay true to it, then we're going to have an opportunity to win a lot of hockey games, we on Sunday maybe didn't manufacture enough goals. Obviously 1 goal late in the game, but it showed we didn't quit. 28 seconds left, we put out a line that was arguably our best line on the night in terms of giving us some offense with Slaker in the middle and Lambden and Gober, on the wings, but. They went out and we played right to the final buzzer, and that's what we've said from the get-go. One thing you're going to find here with our guys is we're not going to give up. If we give up games and guys quit, then they're probably going to find themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
We don't quit until that final 60 minutes, and it's important for us to stay true to that as a team that we play from the start of the game to the final buzzer, and it's good for our fans. Like they got to know that we're going to give our very best and. We're not going to give up. We don't want them to give up, and we're not going to. So it was a good game. It was a good learning for our guys as well, and I really thought that we took a lot out of the weekend and a step in the right in the right way we want to play and the way and where we want to go.
On that Saturday game 2 against Dubuque, just talk about the battling back. I know you were up to start. You fell at the end of the first intermission, but then battling back and just really staying with Dubuque in that hockey game. It seemed like guys were ready to go and amped up and ready to battle.
Well, you can tell like when you're going through in sports and in hockey a stretch like we're going through, it's easy just to, after 1 goal or 2 goals to just pack it in. Well, hey, we didn't have it again. Here's loss number 5 or whatever it is, right? So we. That's what I'm proud about. You're starting to see that characteristic, and one of the things this year we're really stressing is setting up that locker room. Is it's more important right now that we do the things right and we do everything hard and we execute everything because this year what we're trying to build is a culture in the locker room, not only for this year but as a foundation for the next 10 years, and beyond that, is that we want players to know that when they come in next year or come in on visits right now, that this is the expectations to be a Bloomington Thunder hockey player. And, obviously, again, we want to win games. It may not be resulting right now in wins, but we don't quit. We kind of, that we punch and we punch out. It's a work day. It's a day for us to get better, and it's a day for us, to work hard and compete and buy in, and that's what you're going to see from our guys. Is we're going to compete and battle, and like I said, do 5-on-5 hockey. We've done a pretty good job. We haven't been scored on too much 5-on-5, and right now where it's been getting us is the special teams, and then this weekend, we've obviously kept them off with only taking one minor penalty, but and I know they scored a few more power play, a few 5-on-5 goals this weekend, but we didn't give up a lot. I thought we did a really good job of that. We kept teams to the outside, and we're having a little tough luck around the net. I think guys are gripping it and get a little bit nervous, but we had opportunities to score quite a few goals ourselves, and that's the way it goes in this type of stretch.
And how important is that discipline too? I think that's also helping guys out, just getting on the ice more too, because there's not so much changeover between the special teams. You're starting to see that discipline. No penalties taken in that game against Cedar Rapids. There's no power plays for them, so you're able to just keep them off the board on special teams.
Yeah, like that's a team there that if you give them 5 or 6 power plays, they're going to score a couple goals.
Yeah.
We played a hard-nosed game. It's not like we played a soft hockey game. We finished our checks, but the difference was we were moving our feet. We didn't have our sticks up in their waist. We didn't have it up high. We weren't taking these offensive zone penalties that are 200 feet away from our net. Our guys were working. We just showed clips, this morning here, and it was pretty good. Like there wasn't, obviously we could dissect it and find some areas of improvement, which we always do. But for the most part, the effort was there. Guys were tracking pucks. We had 5 in the picture. We weren't throwing pucks. We were. We did a really, really good job, and it's unfortunate the way it ended up. But again, from our guys, we just keep telling them, hey, we play that way. For the next 48 games, we're going to win more games than what we're going to lose.
We're talking with head coach Dennis Williams here on Off the Tracks. Couple games coming up this week, and you can catch them live on WJBC.com or on Stretch Internet, portal.stretchinternet.com/WJBC. And coach, those 2 games coming up, you play the USA developmental team, 7 o'clock on Friday night, then travel to Muskegon in Michigan to take on the Muskegon Lumberjacks, 7 o'clock start there as well. Catch the pregame show at 6:45 or 5:45 Central Time. But those 2 games, just the USA 18 team is never an easy game to play. And Muskegon you saw in the preseason, but again, that's nothing like the team that you're going to see this weekend.
Yeah, we're not really sure about them. We're not worried about them. We're not watching video so much about them. We're still focusing on us, and I think that's more important. Before we get to worry about who our opponent is right now and who we're playing, we need to stick on hammering down our details and our execution and the way we want to play. And as we said to our guys today, like we got to approach the game out of obviously due respect to the opponent we're playing this weekend, both of them. But let's just focus on us right now. I think sometimes we get too caught in about what other teams are doing, what their power play is, what their penalty kill is, who their personnel is, which is obviously important in the game. Right. And we as coaches will know that, but our focus on teaching our players right now and their focus is on, let's do what we want to do well, and then as coaches we can make those adjustments or match up who we want against certain lines and that, but let's not take away the focus of the players on our opponent so much. Instead of right now, let's build off of what we did this past weekend.
It was nice also just getting to go outside of the areas that you played in away games. Now you head to Ann Arbor, you play a different rink, you play at a different rink in Muskegon. Is a little bit different for guys obviously just getting used to those new rinks.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm sure. We've been to Muskegon, all the guys for the most part. So the Friday game is obviously going to be a new rink for a lot of them. But it's going to be new, but it shouldn't be any mishaps there. Like our guys, it's like anything. We play in different rinks all over, and I definitely think our guys are excited. Obviously it's like you said, it's an opponent we haven't seen, and it's the other opponent on Saturday is one we haven't seen in 20 games roughly, right? Counting exhibition. So it's it's going to be nice to see a couple different faces. We played Youngstown, a handful of games already. Chicago twice, Green Bay twice. It seems like we played the same teams. Right. And it was nice even this weekend to play teams like Cedar and Dubuque. Because now we can start to kind of see where exactly we are with other teams, in the league. And those are 2 teams that are the top 2 right now, right? One's 9-3 and one's 10-1 or 11-1 Cedar. Yep. So, we hung in there, we battled with them. And I think it gave our guys a little bump that, as you see it, we're not too far off, of everybody. It's so close, the league. And like the last 2 nights, Chicago swept Youngstown in Youngstown. And Youngstown's as far as I'm concerned, a very good hockey team. And I don't say that just because they've beaten us, but they got some skills, some playmaking. They got a lot going for them right now. And to see a team like Chicago, and they're obviously very high in skill. We've seen that against us very quick. But it just goes to show again, like how the parity in the league is that on any given night, it doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing. You're vulnerable to lose hockey games and an opportunity to win them.
It is interesting to see that parallel between each teams and see where each guy matches up and how good each team is. Because like you said, any given night, anybody can win a hockey game in this USHL. Does that make it tough on coaches getting ready to go in? Because every single night is a huge battle.
Oh, it's a tough. This is a tough league. Yeah. I'm talking to other coaches yesterday on the phone, and some of them that are new to the league, and even they've said it's a tough league. It's a tough league to coach. It's a tough league to win. All teams are good. All coaches are good. It's just that. There's not an off night. It's not. I've been fortunate to coach in leagues, and not fortunate, but where you'd go into games, even as a player, and you just know you're going to win that hockey game.
Right.
I don't think that's the case in this league. It doesn't matter right now if you're going into play whoever it is with a losing record. Like as a coach, you're going to, if you don't show up and play, you're going to lose that hockey game. Right. So it's important as coaches, and it's even more important here. I think from a coaching standpoint is that we have to be on our toes. We have to be able to make changes and transition and know our opponent, more as coaches here because, you're playing against some pretty high-end skill players and high-end skill teams, and we have to do our best as coaches to kind of match and play to our strengths, as well. So if we fall asleep at the realm as a coach, it could be a goal against that quick, and it's not maybe so much the player's fault, but maybe we didn't identify a certain face-off play, in the offensive zone or in the defensive zone for us, and they score off it. Well, that's our fault as coaches. We got to be able to identify that, quickly as we're going out for the last change at home and make that adjustment quick and let them know, hey, they may be looking to do this, and so it definitely keeps you on your toes.
And I think the best parity of that, too, when you're looking at the standings right now, Team USA, one of the bottom in the league, but by no means would you ever say that the Team USA, either the 17s or the 18s, are ever an easy game to play in this league because they just have a lot of skill and they put up a lot of guys to college ranks, to NHL ranks as well. So it should be interesting to see that game. Just going into those different rinks, too, for goaltenders, just getting ready in those hockey games, how important is it for a guy who's playing in a new rink, in a new crease, seeing looks in the pregame? How important is it for them to get ready and start to figure out their angles in that pregame warm-up?
Well, yeah, I'm not really sure. It's that'd be a good question for Corey or and those guys. Like I treat our goalies really not a lot different than I treat our forwards. And D. They're responsible. To get themselves mentally focused, to get to the rink, to see it, and envision it. The good thing about being a goalie is the only thing they got to worry about is the boards, probably more than anything, right? And again, it's us in warm-ups getting a little feel. Is it coming off the stanchial out to the middle? When do you stay in the net? When do you come out? Is there a little edge in the boards that when you dump it in the right corner, it's going to pop out. Like we've had rinks even in our home rink in Amarillo. When we're at one end of the ice, our goalie even in our home rink wouldn't play the puck because it wouldn't get a true bounce. Yep. So, I think that. But the good thing about goaltending is the creases are always the same size. Right. They're the same depth. And they just have to worry about getting a foot or two outside of that every time to shut down the angle and stop pucks. But it was a little better weekend with their goaltending. They still need to perform at a higher level as far as I'm concerned. And again, as I tell our guys and our players, if you don't want these high expectations from our staff, then let us know. But we hold all our players high with high expectations and accountability, and they're expected to play at that.
We're talking to head coach Dennis Williams here on Off the Tracks. You can catch the re-airing of this show on Cities 92.9, 7:30 a.m. on Saturday before the Bloomington Thunder take on the Muskegon Lumberjacks that night. And, Coach, we're getting closer to the holiday time here with Thanksgiving upcoming, and I know for guys who are away from their homes, it's a little tough, and around Thanksgiving it's going to be a little bit of an interesting stretch here with guys around Thanksgiving and then being closer to the holidays and everything. We're through a couple months here, and granted the guys have been used to this, of living away from home for a little while. Does it ever get into their mind of being homesick a little bit and just not being able to see their families too much, especially around these times like Thanksgiving?
Well, I'm sure it plays a little bit. The good thing is you're fortunate to be with good families that you live with too. And they bring you into your home and make it part of their family, whether it's maybe a Thanksgiving dinner at your own house or going to a relative's house with your billet family and just being one of their kids, right? You're part of the family. So, but it is always tough. You know what? It's always tough for players to get homesick. I always think when times are tough for them too. They maybe hit a rough stretch of games or they're in and out of the lineup and everybody at the end of the day, and I was like that. Where I got homesick was in college because I got to play junior in my home in Stratford. So I couldn't wait to get to college, right? And then when I got there and I wasn't playing, where do I revert back to? I revert back to what I would call my comfort blanket of calling my mom and dad and my brother and want support. And you go through those tough times. You just want to that's what you want, right? Someone there to tell you everything's going to be all right. So I'm sure a lot of times guys go through that when they're going through tough times, But it's great because a lot of families do show up here and watch their son play, And I see a lot of them on the road. I see a lot of them in our rinks, and I know that means a lot to those players, And for those that can't, like it'd be a little tougher for a guy like Maxime, who's here, right? Russia and not. He's got a brother playing here in the U.S. in Wilkes-Barre, but it's got to be difficult at times, but you know what? That's part of growing up, and it's a part of, I think, getting away from home and preparing yourself for college. And I look back at it, playing 3 years in my hometown. I kind of wish, I went to college my first year and I was homesick. It was tough at times, and I kind of wish I would have faced that adversity, maybe a year or two earlier, so that when I went to college, it didn't play such a big toll on myself.
So for guys, too, that this weekend on Friday night will be in Ann Arbor, and there are some guys from Detroit, so it'll be nice for them to see their families for the first time, really, throughout the season, unless they made the trek to Bloomington. But, Coach, best of luck this weekend, and I really appreciate the time here on Off the Tracks. That's head coach Dennis Williams. We'll be right back right after this. Jalen Smereck and Ryan Siroky will be on the mic here coming up in just a little bit. You're watching Off the Tracks. Don't go anywhere. Hey everybody, welcome back to Off the Tracks here with Ryan Siroky, our next member here for the Bloomington Thunder's Off the Tracks show. Thanks for tuning in here to bloomingtonthunder.tv, or you're catching the re-air on Saturday morning at 7:30 on Cities 92.9. Ryan, thanks for taking the time out here, and I know you guys got a busy schedule here coming up in practice and also for this weekend. So
no worries. Thanks for having me.
All right, so Ryan, we're kind of coming off a weekend where you guys played some outstanding hockey against the Dubuque Fighting Saints and against the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. And Coach Williams said, for the team, it's been some of the best hockey he's seen from you guys all this year. Is it tough when you're coming away from a game like that and you don't have the wins to show for it, but you did still play some good hockey games? Does that bring the morale up in the locker room, or does it kind of take it the other way?
A little bit of both. I mean, it's definitely hard when you play such a good game and then come out with a loss, because in this league, you're judged by your wins and losses and where you stand in the rankings. But we've definitely been improving a lot over the last couple of weeks, and we're taking a lot of strides forward. So hopefully, we have another huge test this weekend with Team USA in Muskegon. So hopefully it'll continue into that, and we'll try and get a couple wins.
And you've been in the league for a couple of years, so you've seen the ups and downs. Mm-hmm. Is it just kind of part of the league where you have these highs, you have these lows at times? And I know the team right now, it's the morale's starting to come back around, but it's been a tough stretch for you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the season. It's just how your team deals with it after and through it. And my first year, we lost our first 7 games in a row, so it's kind of relates to this right now. But going back to that, we finished second in the conference, so it's how you deal with your emotions and your play when you're going through the tough times like that. And
especially inside the locker room, just playing for those extra minutes at the end of the game where you can be happy versus upset about the loss. How much do the leaders in the locker room for this team play in for the veterans to just say, hey guys, this was a great game. Don't hang your heads about this one. We'll be right back at it next weekend.
Oh, the leaders and the veterans are definitely a big part, because the younger guys look up to us, especially with this being a new franchise. Some guys don't know what it's about yet, and other guys have been in the league a lot longer. So it's definitely important for our veterans and leaders and captains to, come to play every night, because if, for example, if I'm not working hard, a young guy might think, I don't have to do that. I don't have to block this shot or something like that. So, we just have to set the right example every night.
So for you too, you picked up a shorthanded goal this weekend, and it was you finally got the monkey off your back with the first goal of the year. How was that, getting the first goal of the year here in Bloomington and second shorty of your career in the United States Hockey League?
Oh, good. It was like you said, it was nice to get the monkey off my back, but it was a nice play. I think we're shorthanded, and their guy just bumbled the puck, so I just grabbed it off the wall and came down the right side and got a little lucky, went post in. So.
That's a tough shot too.
Yeah.
Right-handed going far post on the goaltender. That's tough. That's tough to do. Was that kind of a thought, or did you just see an opening quick?
I knew I kind of wanted to go around that area, but it was nice because the Dubuque's goalie is my buddy from back home I played with, so it was nice to get one on him.
So also this weekend coming up, it's going to be an interesting travel going up to Ann Arbor and then heading over to Muskegon. And while Team USA is lower than you guys in the standings, they're at the bottom really of the league in standings right now. The U18 team is not anything that you can really trifle with, because they can turn it on any given night.
Yeah.
So how is it for the preparation and for the guys inside the locker room to get ready for that game and get ready for the weekend?
That game will be especially important, because not only they're below us in the standings, but they're honestly one of the best, if not the best team in this league. They have the potential #1 overall pick next year. They have guys breaking Patrick Kane's records, so they're a very scary team to play. And you also have to play very disciplined against them, because they all wear cages. So you can't after the whistle, you can't get in any scrums and stuff like that, or else you're going to get tossed out of the game. So definitely we have to stay out of the penalty box, because that is what will hurt us. But 5-on-5, I think we'll be fine against them.
And how about the discipline this past weekend, too? Just being able to stay out of the box. You limit Cedar Rapids to nothing. You end up getting a shorthanded goal on the one power play you gave up to Dubuque. How great was that for the guys on the bench, and just to really see the momentum churning for you on that special teams?
It was really impressive to see, because that's kind of what we've been struggling with, and that's what we need to be working on. Against Youngstown, we could let in double-digit power play goals. So, for us to only give up one and then luckily score on it, it's really nice to see.
So for you, just off the ice a little bit, you're moving here to Bloomington. You were in Green Bay last year, but you're a guy from quite a decent way away from Manhattan Beach. And just what was the life like, growing up and starting to play hockey, and where did you kind of fit into the whole early life of Ryan Siroky in the hockey world?
Well, it started, I think I was like 4 years old, and I saw it on TV one day and told my parents I wanted to play. So, they got me all signed up and stuff. So, I don't know, at the local rink, I got a couple lessons, and then parents almost took me out because the guy teaching me how to skate was like a figure skater. So, my hockey career almost ended there. But my mom got me a couple other coaches, and so I just started to love it and picked it up from there, and then joined the LA Selects team, and we were luckily one of the top teams in the nation growing up against our rivals like Honeybake. So Gober was on that team, so we had some good games growing up. And then the year before I moved to Green Bay, the Selects team merged with the LA Kings, so I played for them for 1 year, and then to Green Bay 2 years, and now here.
So now the early life of starting to get into that, like you mentioned, the select teams, really playing at that. Did you kind of start to see, or I don't know how the hockey is necessarily out that way, but is it more focused towards that rather than playing like high school hockey out there, because it's a completely different agenda than football or baseball?
Yeah. There's no high school hockey out there. It's all club teams and select travel teams. So, it kind of sucks, because hockey obviously is growing a lot more in California, especially with the Kings winning the Cup the last 2 out of 3 years. But growing up, to get noticed or showcased, you'd have to travel to Chicago, to Boston, New York, Detroit, places like that, just to get noticed. So it's pretty expensive, and thank God it's starting to grow a lot. So a lot more teams are coming out to California and scouts to go visit places there.
And what was it like to make that move then to start to make the move out here to Illinois and up to Wisconsin when you were in Green Bay? Is it tough on the family and yourself getting away?
Obviously, it's pretty tough. I leave a year early than all my friends. It was especially hard on my mom, obviously. But it's a lot different, moving from LA to Wisconsin, big city to little city. It was kind of had to get accustomed to that. And then especially the weather. The weather was pretty big for me. On Christmas Day it's 75 in LA, and Christmas Day in Wisconsin it's -20. So I definitely took some time to get used to. But then here, I think I've adapted pretty well. It's pretty similar. The weather's not too bad, at least for right now.
we got a couple months before it starts gets bad.
But it's a great city. There's a lot of life here, especially with the college campus right down the street, and a great group of guys. So.
And moving from LA, there's the hockey life, and I assumed maybe a Kings fan growing up.
Yeah.
So then. There's no football out in LA.
No.
So when you move up to Green Bay and being up in Wisconsin, about 60 yards away from Lambeau Field, did you finally become the Green Bay Packers fan over 2 years there?
The Packers are my football team, so.
It's got to be interesting too, just being this far. Have you gone to any games up in Lambeau since?
Yeah,
since then too?
I got pretty fortunate over the 2 years. I think I went to like 8 or 9 games, so. It's pretty special place.
Do you ever go in the winter when it's just snowing crazy there? I can't even imagine.
The coolest game was I think it was in December. It was Monday night. Sunday night game against the Vikings in like a blizzard. So it was pretty cool.
And that's got to be
and we were like 50-yard line, like there's the perfect seats.
It's not too bad.
We got pretty lucky there.
So you also now. We're in the third season of the USHL. You've made your verbal commitment and are set to go to Miami University in Ohio, and just kind of getting yourself prepared to go play college hockey. That's obviously part of the game. But how excited are you to get out of the league? Obviously, you've been a part of it for this is your third year. Got to be tough to leave it behind, but looking forward, it's got to be exciting.
Oh, I can't wait. It's definitely an exciting time. I picked the spot for a reason, Miami. I love the place, love the campus, the team, kind of what they offer and how they, expect us to play every night. They have very good coaches, and I got a little taste of it last year. I got to go on my visit, so I definitely can't wait to go to college.
Now, what was the deciding factor? Everybody kind of has this wow factor of college when you're going, and there's just that one deciding thing that brings you somewhere. What was that for you?
For me, Miami, they kind of try to go off something. It's called the Brotherhood, and so they kind of lead their team that way. And everyone is such a tight knit family. It's all based on respect. Just stuff like that. And so they call themselves a Brotherhood, and it's something that really caught my eye and I really enjoyed.
Now, playing against guys who are throughout this league, you eventually there's some guys that you're playing against that are eventually going to be teammates. You get to see them and realize, oh, okay, well, we're starting to piece together the team here over the next couple of years. Is that sometimes go into your head?
Oh yeah. For example, Sherwood on Youngstown. I've known him for a couple of years now at least. And, we'll probably be roommates next year, or hope to be. So just playing against him every, 8 times a year, it's pretty cool.
Now, how in touch do the coaches stay? Obviously, future investment, too, with getting ready for you to come into the program. How in touch do you stay with the school, and how in touch do they have you with everything that goes on here, just getting you ready for that next step?
Miami stays really, really close to me. They call me every couple of weeks. So just checking in, they'll call coach, see how I'm doing, what I think of it, just how I'm doing, how my family's doing. So like I said, we're a very tight-knit group, and that's what I enjoy most.
Finishing up with Ryan Siroky here on Off the Tracks. Ryan, you're also doing the Movember here with me, and it's coming in pretty good so far. You can definitely head on to Movember.com/Bloomington-Thunder and vote for Ryan. Donate towards him so he can possibly become the 2014-15 Movember man. And I'm fighting with you for that one, but it's going to be a tough battle all the way through this throughout the season. But now going into the end of this season and getting ready to go here and starting to go through the rest of the year with this program. Out of your 2 years from Green Bay, what have you seen from this program, and what are the kind of expectations now that we're through about 13 games here in the season?
Definitely hard work. The difference between this year and the last 2 years is our team is work ethic, and the work ethic here is, it doesn't match anyone else's I've ever seen. Our coaches get on us every day to work, and I think that's what's going to separate us from other teams is, we're not the most skilled team in the league, but we'll definitely be the hardest working, and we'll outwork them, their defense, to where no one's going to want to play against us, and I think that's our key to success.
So one final thing before we hop you off the mic and get Jalen over here to get on the mic here. Getting to go into the holiday season now, Thanksgiving, and it's obviously a tough stretch right around Thanksgiving, 3 games in 4 days, 1 day off for Thanksgiving. Is the team planning on doing anything, or are you guys just trying to stay occupied, really? Because, it's one of those times of the year where everyone likes to see their family, but you guys don't really have that this season.
Obviously, I don't think we're going to do anything on Thanksgiving because a lot of families are coming in. But obviously, we have to stay very close with practice and everything because we have 3 games right around Thanksgiving time. So obviously, we'll stay close, but it'll be nice to see our families as well.
Well, Ryan, I appreciate the time here. Best of luck coming up, and happy holidays around Thanksgiving. We'll hope to get you back on the mic here sometime later in the season.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Ryan Siroky, forward for your Bloomington Thunder. We'll be right back after this on Off the Track. Stick around. Jalen Smereck's coming up right here on Off the Tracks. Hey everybody, welcome back to Off the Tracks here. Third and final segment coming at you for the Bloomington Thunder's Coaches Show here, but we've got Jalen Smereck, defenseman for your Bloomington Thunder, on the mic here. Jalen, I appreciate the time and looking forward to getting inside your head here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's about time,
You've been dying for an interview too throughout this season. So, Jalen, let's talk kind of the last weekend for you and what it's been like for you in your first USHL season here with this program. Just talk about last weekend and what it meant for the team to play in those hockey games and get kind of back on track here rolling after we get some time off here from the Youngstown Phantoms for a little bit.
I think it's pretty good. It really helps us because now that we can play with other teams in the league and we can beat pretty much anyone in this league, I think. I'm pretty confident in the boys. We work hard every day in practice, and it always gives us a good outcome. So,
and for you on the back end, just playing in the defensive zone with everybody, you got a couple of veterans on the squad there, and just for you looking up to them and starting to develop your game in the USHL, what's it been like for you?
A lot of vets. They really helped me. I. Sometimes, I might overthink or make the wrong play, and when I come back to the bench, they'll be the first one to tell me, it's all right. Just you know what you did wrong, and you know what you got to do right next time, and just go back and get it out. So
now let's talk about you kind of off the ice. You're a guy from Detroit, Michigan, and it's got to be nice this weekend. You're going out to Ann Arbor to play Team USA at 7 o'clock start, 6 o'clock start in the Central Time Zone. So if you want to catch that game, go ahead to bloomingtonthunder.tv or also head to portal.stretchinternet.com/WJBC. And for you to be able to see the family and play in front of the folks again, that's got to be pretty nice for you to kind of have a little bit of a homecoming here.
Yeah, it's going to be good. My dad, he's bringing a lot of his buddies out, and always good to see the family. My brother's coming in town from Cleveland. And, my sister's been working, but she's going to make the trip and come out and see me too. So it's always good to see all of your family and watch them come support you. So. And
there's a lot of guys on the team that are from right around that Detroit area too. Did you get to know some of them growing up and playing against them? And
well, I knew Shelman. We played in the same organization when we were little. And then, of course, Shane Bednard, I played with his little brother Ryan when we were little. So those were like the only 2 guys that I really knew coming here, so it's always new. And
when you're coming into a new team, how tough is it to get adjusted to new guys and just new place, new team, new guys, new systems, everything? Those that first month through training camp must have been a little tough, not only for you but for everybody in this organization.
Yeah, it's always tough. I played on the same team for about 5 or 6 years, and it's always hard when you walk into a new locker room and you're not seeing the same guys every day anymore, and you're meeting new guys, and they're not always the same caliber type of guys. Everyone plays different, everyone has a different personality, so you just got to really adjust and get to meet new people.
And just from hearing from a lot of the other guys too, it seems like this locker room is very, very connected. Everybody's very close, and it doesn't seem like there's too much disconnect. But through the teammates, does that help it through the adjustment period at the very start?
Yeah, it always helps. You know, we got a great group of guys, and everyone's getting to know each other more and more every day. And like today, coach is getting us paired up with the youngest, the oldest, and it's always good to meet an older guy and see what they're really about and see what they've been through, and get to really know each other close.
And inside of this team, just going forward and starting to see where this team's starting to take shape, the younger guys who haven't played in the USHL before and starting to see where exactly they're going to fit here through 13 games. Have you started to see that with each guy on the team and yourself?
Yeah, I think everyone's starting to really know what they need to do out there. Some guys used to be goal scorers, but now they're just hard grinders, and it's all about hard work. Their skill level is a lot different. The game's a lot faster. Guys are finishing hits. You can't really make the same plays anymore. But you just got to be able to adjust and make the smart play.
So early life for you, as you're starting to take in the hockey aspect and starting to play hockey, where did you kind of start to make the decision? Were you an early bloomer like all the other guys and starting off playing hockey at a young age?
Yeah, I started playing hockey when I was about 3. My dad coached my 2 older brothers, so I pretty much was tossed on the ice. I didn't want to skate. I was the one who always tried to fight my way off the ice, but my dad always pushed me back on and told me to just get after it. But I grew up playing my brother's hockey stick. I was originally a righty, but I didn't really have a right-hand stick, so I was using my brother's left-handed stick that was like 2 feet too big. So I became a lefty, and then after that, once I turned 4, I was pretty much on the roller coaster.
Now, also the other thing, when I was growing up, nobody taught me how to play lefty or righty. It was either, just pick up stick and figure it out. And I found out that when I was growing up, I should have been a lefty because you're supposed to be on your dominant hand is supposed to be the top hand. And I don't know when you were deciding, did it just feel weird holding the stick in the wrong hand?
Yeah, it's just a lot different, Like, as a righty, my left hand's my weaker hand, I would say, so it just wasn't comfortable being a righty, and my dad said, well, you're a lefty, so I picked up the left-handed stick, and there I went away.
And when you're going up through the ranks and starting to play hockey, you said that obviously you were one of the guys that were fighting to get off the ice, and I knew guys that were like that too. They just didn't want to be skating. Did it start to take shape the more and more you started to play? Think, oh, this is a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing this a whole lot.
Yeah, as I remember, my dad was always telling me about 5 or 6 months before I could actually stay on the ice by myself and skate, and I didn't try to fight my way off the ice anymore. So.
And for you, now moving in through the ranks and coming into the USHL, obviously a different league, and I don't know how much influence you really saw, but where was the decision all to go play junior hockey and play these travel organizations to start to pursue this career?
Well, looking at my older brother played in the North American Hockey League for about 2.5 years. So just pretty much he's one of my biggest role models. So pretty much just following in his footsteps. And I really enjoy playing the game of hockey, so why not just take it further? And I really, I love the game. So I picked up after my brother, and there I go off away from home playing juniors. So
now you're away from home, like you mentioned. You're here with your billets, and just being away from your home and starting to kind of live with a different family. How's the adjustment been for you to live with your billet family here in Bloomington?
It was really hard at first. The first month it was pretty hard on me. Haven't really been away from home that much. I'm always with the fam and stuff. But after a while, my billets, started to get more comfortable. Hanging out with them and playing cards and stuff like that. So they're just really nice family, and they accepted me in their house, and I appreciate it. But yeah, as of now, I look at it, it's not as tough, Just try to talk to my parents every day, and it makes it a lot easier when you talk to them, and they tell you how much they miss you, and it doesn't get any easier, but it makes it
a little bit more bearable at times, just to be able to talk to them and see them every once in a while. But here's the other half that I guess sometimes doesn't really come into play sometimes. You're one of the younger guys on this team and still taking classes right now. How tough is it to juggle the hockey time with the school time? I know it's you and about 3 or 4 other guys down there that have to do that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty hard. With me being a student who is really hard for me to do homework, online wasn't the best choice for me at the beginning, but as you play in juniors, you got to start taking responsibility for yourself. So I really took that on my shoulders, and now I'm starting to do online, and I'm really starting to adjust, and I'm forcing myself to do homework every day, even though it is hard. So.
And does it help to have those other guys that also have to do that? Do you guys kind of at least play off each other a little bit of studying with each other around the locker room?
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier, staying in the house with Barr and Baker, who are also 2 other high school students. And I'm pretty sure we got 2 classes together, so it makes it a lot easier on us. We can kind of help each other with our homework and stuff. So
what's the plans here now coming up holiday season? Obviously, the Thanksgiving time's coming up, and it's tough being away from home. But I don't know what your plans are. Whether you're staying with your billets, your family's coming into town. What's the plan here?
I'll probably just stay with my billets. My family will probably come down for a couple games and see me and stay for a week or so. But our billets are really nice, and they said, they're always able to help us whenever we need it. So I'm not really worried.
And just through this progression of getting into the league and getting used to the life and the travel and everything, has it been a little bit of an adjustment just to be away from home and just to kind of say goodbye to the family for the first time? Granted, you do get to talk to them, but it's not like seeing them in person, right?
No, it's never like seeing them in person. My mom really took it to heart when I told her that I was moving away. It's about 2 weeks before I found out where I was moving to. So she really took that to heart, being a mama's boy and everything. But, it really hurt her. But now I'm just starting to adjust and talk to her every day, make sure I, tell her I miss her and I love her. And I'll be home soon. But, I also got to make a life for myself. So she's proud of me, and she just wants the best for me.
So let's talk back on the hockey side of it, just as we finish up here. Jalen Smereck, Brian Tossi finishing up on Off the Tracks. And this weekend, it's obviously a crucial one for you guys who've been on a slide, but you've been playing better hockey. Going into a new rink in Ann Arbor, going into a new rink technically in Muskegon as well, because you played there in the preseason, but it's a different hockey team. How big is it for you guys to make a statement here coming in this weekend?
It's real big. I think the most important game for us will be Friday, to get out there and play against a team like USA and, really set the tone and let Muskegon know what's coming on that next day. So we just got to really get out there Friday and play our game like we have been and really stay after it and not, get away with the stupid penalties or anything. So.
All right, well, that's Jalen Smereck. I appreciate the time here, Jalen. I know we've been trying to get you on the mic for quite some time. We'll do it again here coming up real soon.
Thanks, bro.
All right, that's Jalen Smereck here on Off the Tracks. That's all the time we have here for Jalen, Coach Williams, and Ryan Siroky. I'm Brian Tossi saying so long. We'll see you back here next week on Off the Tracks. Catch the re-air on Cities 92.9 at 7:30 in the morning on Saturday before the Bloomington Thunder take on the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Also catch the 7 o'clock game on Friday as the Bloomington Thunder take on the Team USA. For everybody here in the Bloomington Thunder organization, we'll see you next time. Keep the Thunder rolling, everybody.